Welcome back, guys. I trust you've been staying safe. Now, as recent as the 18th of August 2024, the Ghanaian community in the United Kingdom, specifically the Greater Manchester area, were shocked as a son, alleged to be 22 years old, allegedly attacked his family with a knife and ended up unaliving his mom by name Alberta Obinim, and then inflicting critical wounds on his dad by name Joshua Obinim and his 17-year-old sister. After the passing of his mom, Alberta Obinim, his father, Joshua Obinim, and his 17-year-old sister were on admission in very critical conditions, battling for their lives. I regret to bring you this update that as of a few minutes ago, the father, who is also a pastor by name Joshua Obinim, is reported to have allegedly passed on as well. Now, this case really breaks my heart. Aside the tragedies that have occurred, it's also happening to Ghanaians, and I'm Ghanaian. And these guys find themselves in a foreign land and having to deal with this, especially for the surviving family. I think it's very, very heavy. And looking at the details of this case, it's still unraveling. It's just about 48 hours into this case, and the police are still conducting investigation. It hasn't been established with regards to what the motive of the crime was, or what even caused the son allegedly to do all these things. But taking it from the perspective of the surviving family members, how do you reconcile this and move on? How do you reconcile this? As of this update, it means that this 22-year-old son, if he did what he's been alleged to do, has ended up taking the lives of his own parents. Now, my point is, what would have warranted this? Exactly what would make this okay or understandable that a son would end up doing this to his parents? Because it's the nightmare of any parent to be the one to leave the face of the earth whilst his children are still on the face of the earth. Or maybe, let me rephrase, it's the nightmare of every parent that their children don't get the best and that they leave the face of the earth when their children are not in a proper place. Now, imagine how it translates to these parents, specifically Alberta Obinim and Joshua Obinim, that they lost their lives at the hands of their own child. And Joshua Obinim is a pastor, and his wife is a pastor's wife. So she's supporting him in God's work. And somebody will say, why then do they have to be the ones suffering this? That is the million-dollar question mark, because it hasn't still been established what drove this child allegedly to do what he said to have done. Because there could be possible reasons. One being mental health, of course, as is being peddled by some people to be a possible root cause. Another could be that he might even be part of a gang and he might have lost his way. Another could be he's on some substances that are impairing his objective judgment. And another reason could be any other reason I can't think of now. But this is very, very unfortunate. And for this guy, I think his life is probably over, because as it stands now, he has 2 deaths on his hands. 1 death is bad enough, not to talk of 2. And I can only imagine the kind of charges that he's going to be hit with and how his trial and conviction is going to go. If he's found guilty, his life is definitely over. Now, 2 victims are deceased, and there's a 3rd victim, that is his own 17-year-old sister, also battling for her life. How did we get here? exactly how did we get here. It is not clear whether this guy was actually born to the family in the UK or he was with them in Ghana and they immigrated to the UK with him. Because some are arguing it makes a difference if he was here in Ghana before being immigrated or as compared to he being born there straight away, because this is not something that some people in the Ghanaian circles believe is normal to a typical Ghanaian family if they are resident in Africa, because they believe that the child wouldn't have that type of freedom to even have the effrontery to think he can go up against his parents with a weapon aiming to harm them. No way. There will be stiff family checks on you to ensure that you know your place as a child and you conform to whatever discipline is being meted out to you. And if you have a voice, your voice is to speak and be heard, but with respect and submission to your parents and elders. That is the argument some people are putting forth. As compared to being in a foreign land where the laws sort of prevent the parents from exerting a certain extent of authority they would have had if they were not in that country, but maybe in Africa. And that is a point that some people can argue strongly, because definitely the dispensations are different legally with regards to how you can handle your child in Africa and how you can handle your child in the UK. So it makes sense, but it cannot also be traced as a direct attribute of being a root cause of this. So that is just for a discussion. But then, to the reality of what has happened, the family is shaking. And in fact, the Ghanaian society in the UK is equally shaken. Because when it happens like this, the spotlight is already on the black immigrants, especially because of the recent UK stabbing incident where this black kid inflicted and attacked 3 white girls with a knife. So to have this happening again, although it's a black on black crime, it also seems to suggest that the immigrants could be a threat. Today it's a black on black thing. Tomorrow it could be a black on another person. And it is very unfortunate. The Ghanaian society, per reports, are devastated. Some even sought permission from their workplaces to be absent from work just to commiserate with the family, give flowers, commiserate with each other, and be there for each other. Because when these things happen, it sends a chilling feeling down the spine of everybody. Because, like Tupac said, death is around the corner. But the question is, who is death coming for? We never know how we are going to go. And if these things start happening, sometimes people begin to wonder who could be next and what could be next. Because it's as though now we don't know anymore. Anything can happen at any time, because the world seems to be getting crazier and losing its mind. It's very unfortunate that this should happen to a family, a father and a mother lost at the hands, allegedly, of their own son. And their daughter, who is the sister to the suspect, is also battling for her life due to critical injuries inflicted on her allegedly by her brother, who is the suspect. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Just commiserate with the family. Leave a comment in the comment section. Just say something nice to them. It's called have been different if something different had applied. I don't know what the root cause is, so I don't want to speak directly to it. But all I would say is, let's learn to de-escalate situations. I think it's a skill that can save a life, because sometimes a gentle word can calm a raging heart. Sometimes a peaceful conversation can de-escalate a tense situation. And to the family of the deceased, I just pray that you get the strength to deal with this. And RIP to Mr. Joshua Obinim and his wife, Madam Alberta Obinim. And to the rest of the family, my heart goes out to you. Subscribe if you are yet to do so, turn on post notifications, share our videos, and watch our other videos and let us know what you think about the cases. And as you watch our videos, I plead with you to take a cue from them, learn from them. These are not fictional issues. These are true things that have happened, true stories. That's how come they are called true crime stories. These are things that have happened to people like you and I. Let's learn from it so we can be proactive and protect our species and our loved ones. So then, I'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe out there.